Welcome friends to my kitchen. Bem-vindos à minha cozinha. I had my grandkids here most of the summer. Then I took a trip to Canada for 10 days. Been back, trying to get things ready. And now it's time for more videos. So I brought some new recipes from Canada. This recipe that I'm making is from my sister Teresa. She made this tart. It's an almond tart and it was so good, and I asked her if I could use to make a video because this is ideal for holidays. You can make it ahead and it's so good. So anyway, so I am doubling this recipe because I need to make some baskets for an auction, and this is one of the items that I'm going to put it in a basket. So I'm doubling the recipe because I want to stay with some too. So anyway, in here I have this cookie sheet that I lined with parchment paper. I sprayed the pan first and then put the parchment paper so it would stick. So I have 4 eggs. I have here 2 tablespoons of butter, can also be used margarine. It's 8 tablespoons, but I have 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of flour. This is gonna be for the base of the tart. We're gonna mix all these ingredients, put it here, and bake it until it's set and just barely getting golden. So that's what we're gonna do today. She had sent me this recipe before, but sometimes, you know, when it's something new, I wanted to try first, especially Portuguese recipes because they're so sweet. I wanted to try it first before I made it. And I wanted to see exactly the steps. Okay, I'm gonna beat my eggs. She made that so quick. It was so fast when she made it that I even thought I've lost some steps, but because she made it so fast and she's done it so many times. So I'm gonna add my butter or margarine, whatever you use, my sugar, and the flour. We'll all mix. No baking powder, none of this. And you want to make it, this is going to turn into a paste. It's going to be like a paste, and we're going to put it in the bottom of the cookie sheet. You can also use this in one of those tart pans. Okay. She even mixed with her hand. She says you don't need no tools. So you just want to mix this. And I'm going to pour this into this pan. And another thing she said, this even tastes better a couple days after because those flavors kind of blend in. All I know is she made a tart, and before I know it, it was gone. So anyway, always learning new tricks from your older sister. I had been in Canada. I don't know, I put a video out. I don't know if any of you got to see that video. But we figured out that 40 years ago, both of us were in Canada at the same time. I was 11 and we figured out she was 16. I had a godmother. My godmother Beatrice, she wanted me to go to Canada, but my mom says I couldn't go by myself, so I went with my older sister. We talked about that. We were in Niagara Falls. I remember being 11, being in Niagara Falls. We were in CN Tower. I remember I got a pinch when I was 11 because I was messing around, and she said, no, stop. And I got pinched. Anyway, so it was very interesting trip. Okay, so now we're gonna put this in the oven at 350, just so this kind of start getting golden and bakes. Okay, I'll show you when it's done, and we're gonna start with the filling. We're gonna do the filling to go on top. Once that's baked, we pour this on top, and then we bake it for a little bit longer, and it makes delicious tart. So I have here 500 grams of, I'm doubling the recipe. So I have 500 grams of butter, 1 cup of sugar, and then 1 cup of milk. And we're gonna bring this to a simmer on the stove until it forms to the point where once you rub a spatula, it stays separate. Friends, I have my milk, my butter, and my milk all mixed in here, and we're gonna let this mix until it forms a point in the sugar that is called a punta estrada, or I'll show you what she told me once it gets to that stage, is when you rub with a spatula in the middle, it stays separate. Both sides stay separate. So we're gonna let this sit here and do that, and then I'll show you that. Okay friends, I had to do my topping for my tart, almond tart, in half, in 2 separate batches, because putting all in one, it was going to be too hard to get the right measurements. But anyway, so I will leave the original recipe on the description. So in here I have 150 grams of butter, 150 grams of sugar, and then I have here 7 tablespoons of milk, but I'm using cream instead. I ran out of milk, thought I had more milk, and but I had cream, so I'm gonna put it in. We'll see. I already did 1/2 and put it on top of the tart. I should have paid more attention, or recorded when my sister was making hers. So anyway, I mix everything, and then I'm gonna add, this is 250 grams of slivered almonds. She says it's gotta be slivered almonds. And then I'm gonna mix this until it does that point of when you separate it, it stays separate. Punta estrada. That's what she says. So anyway, I will continue doing this. You have to excuse, I'm making sourdough bread too, so I just took all my bread out of the oven, so I have a mess of pots in here. So I made the regular sourdough bread, jalapeno, and white cheddar cheese, and then I also did lemon blueberry. This is the part that you gotta watch it. And probably this pot is too, her pot was bigger, so you could see it. When you split, you could see better though. I like to do all in one batch, because if one batch is texture or color is different, when you go to put it in one, you don't see it. But I did one batch and it didn't come out good. That's why sometimes new recipes, you know, people use different pots, so different milks, different things, and for them it comes out okay. And I guess just gotta keep trying. Okay, see, with this pot, no matter how much I separate, it comes together, but it leaves a line when you do, but then eventually they come together. And you know, these recipes, they don't have very specific directions. This goes back in the oven, but it doesn't tell you how long. And you know, when I wasn't paying attention, at the time when she made this, I was still so tired. And this is what you want, okay? The other one that I made, the first one, it had more color. I don't want too much color. Okay, friends, I was putting all the almonds on top and I forgot to show you. This is what you want, your dough. You bake it until just start getting gold. It took me probably 7-8 minutes, not very long. And now I'm gonna spread all the almonds on top, and then I'll show you. I had to do it in batches because it was easier to figure out the right amount. I'll show you the other half. Okay, so this is one half, and this is the other half. And then we go back, put this in the oven until these the almonds have a little bit of color. Okay? And like I said, I left these, I actually turned off the stove, but left these on top and they're already getting a little color. You want it all white, like this. I will tell you how long this will be in my oven. My oven is at 350. This was my first batch of the milk. I was doing 2 batches at the same time. And like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I had so much going on. Before I know, it turned into caramel. So now I have caramel balls here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. So we'll see. Here it is, my tart. And this is what you want to come out of the oven and look like. This one, I spread it first. That's why I wanted to make all one batch. Or you make small batches, or you make all one batch. This one I spread it first and it stayed out. It should have been in the oven. And this one, I poured and then put it in the oven. It was in the oven for 10 minutes. I know she told me you don't take your eyes out when you do put it in the oven because you don't want it to burn. So now I'm gonna let this sit here to cool, to unmold. And it's best if you do this a couple of days ahead because it tastes better when you do a couple days ahead. I will have to try and make this again, but instead of doubling, but because I need a lot, I doubled the recipe, but this is what it happens. One batch is different color than the other, but it's all edible. I'm gonna let this sit here and cool off, and then once I cut it, I will show you. Okay, friends, here it is, my tart. It's been cooling off. I put it in the refrigerator to cool off. Tastes like my sister's. I'm gonna cut it in half. And then I'm gonna cut it in squares. And I'm gonna put it in this tray because I'm making this for auction item for a celebration. So you make this, and this is very easy. My sister made this. We ate it almost in one sitting. It was so good. And then I thought, I just talked to her, and I thought this was the wrong because they are a little darker. She says sometimes some people like darker, so that's good. That's normal. So anyway, I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna put it in this tray. And this is how it looks. Look at this. huh? So I'm going to put this in this tray. I'm actually going to make in layers. It is so good. I gotta go get, I think I'm gonna put all this in this tray. I'm gonna go get some more tomorrow, sister. I gotta make some more for me. If I put all this in this tray, I'm gonna have nothing. Okay. I'm gonna put it in a tray, and then I'll show you when it's all done. This is so good. She made one tart and we ate it in 2 sittings. And she said that never happens. I'll leave the recipe in the description so you can make tart of almond tart. So good. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Leave a comment and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, have a good day.